Hello and welcome to the April 21st edition of Speedway Digest, Thursday Night Thunder, the most hardcore motorsports program on the internet. This is episode 233 of the series. I'm your host, Jason Sinclair, and on tonight's program, we'll be talking about a wide variety of auto racing topics. We don't have quite as many guests lined up for this evening. In fact, we only have one guy, but hopefully he shows up, and I know he's at the track this weekend, so hopefully he had a good day of testing, and we'll talk to him a little bit about that shortly. Our guest tonight is Jason Pribyl, hopefully. Jason, 16, from Glenview, Illinois, is a Road to Indy USF Juniors driver with IGY6 Motorsports. He has a background in karting. Unlike most karters his age, he has a long history of enduro karting on the big tracks. He started karting at age 6 and had his first road race at age 7 on the World Ride Technology Raceway road course. In 2021, he was the SCCA Northern Conference Formula 2 Enterprise 2 champion and finished 10th at the SCCA Nationals in Indy. Jason's supposed to join us this evening. I did remind him about the timing. Last week, apparently, he got his time zones a little off. Tonight, hopefully, he's got that all set, and we're standing by to listen to him. He should be here in about 2 or 3 minutes. Now, we were able to pick up another guest last week for our show next week. It'll be Mary Badgley, I believe is how you pronounce her last name. If not, I'll find that out before the show, hopefully. But she's going to be on the program next week. She's a contemporary of Jason Pribyl. She actually was listening to the program last week and hopes to hear his little interview. She might be listening tonight. We never know. But she's going to be on the program next week. After that, I'm not exactly sure how many shows we're going to have before the end of the season. We might take another short break in May, like a summer break. But we'll see how it goes. It is going to be a really busy time in South Florida auto racing for the next 2 weeks. This week is the final lap at Palm Beach International Raceway. Unfortunately, Palm Beach International Raceway will be closing. So they have their final event slated for this weekend. It's April 23rd. It's going to be a pretty cool race out there on Saturday. They did post their full schedule online on their website and on Facebook. So look up Palm Beach Raceway. You can figure that stuff out there. Larson Motorsports will be there with their jet cars. I believe there's perhaps the Top Fuel and Funny Car people who have local connections will be out there. There'll also be a ton of bracket racers, which is also cool sportsman stuff. So be sure to check that out. That'll be Palm Beach International Raceway this weekend, April 23rd. Coming up in 2 weeks, roughly, is the Formula One Grand Prix of Miami at the Miami International Autodrome, which most of you know is the area around Hard Rock Stadium there in Miami Gardens. There was a little bit of a controversy regarding that passed out of court the other day. The residents of Miami Gardens were worried about noise pollution in the area, so that was actually thrown out of court. The judge made some comments about possibly wearing earplugs or just keeping your doors closed and all that. I don't think it was really much of a lawsuit about the noise because I know that IMSA cars and Indy cars are louder than the modern Formula One race cars. So, but it'll definitely be different there at the track. I've done my share of complaining about the Formula One Grand Prix of Miami and the cost of the tickets. They're way too pricey for the people who live here. They did release club passes, which are sort of like a general admission ticket. Those are roughly $300 a day. You can get them for one day on Friday, which I'm not going to do, or you can go all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, for $900. It's not including tax and other fees. I do believe that includes parking, though. I did see there's parking available online. I think that the grandstand seats, the cheapest ones, are $1,600 for that weekend. That's a Friday and Saturday, Sunday ticket. That's way too pricey for me to head out to any sort of motorsports event. Even if I had the money, I don't think I'd give it to Formula One. So, what do you think about that? How do you feel about the price of Formula One tickets? I know it's pricier than the one there in Austin. It's probably pricier than the one thing about having in Las Vegas next year, and that's kind of cool that they're going to race back in Las Vegas for Formula One. I know Jason Pribyl is on the track to possibly race in Formula One in the future. That's part of the Road to Indy thing. Is an open wheel series where they race to compete in open wheel on the road to Indianapolis and possibly future in Formula racing. Again, we'll talk to Jason Pribyl about that momentarily, hopefully in the next couple of minutes. He did state that his internet was working well there at the track, so let's hope that everything is working fine this evening. If not, we're going to have a relatively short show, unfortunately. But let's see. Give me a couple more minutes. Um, Again, we've got a guest for next week. We have some other leads to check into in the next few days. We're going to be posting a lot of articles on SpeedwayDigest.com this weekend, probably on Saturday. So be sure to check that out on Sunday. But I'm hoping to get some stuff done around the house this weekend as well. So, but I haven't had much time to post stuff recently on SpeedwayDigest.com. Not as much time as I'd hoped. So, but that's always a good thing, I suppose, because it means I've got other stuff going on that's bringing in some income into the household. Unfortunately, this little pastime here does not bring as much money in as I would hoped originally. It does give me opportunities I'd never have otherwise, and I definitely thank Speedway Digest and Stephen Wilson, the founder of SpeedwayDigest.com, for this opportunity. We are still standing by for Jason Pribyl. Hopefully, he'll be calling in momentarily. I don't know his schedule exactly. We do know he's been at the track. I do know he's working there to contact us momentarily, and we are standing by for that. He's supposed to be calling in again in about any time now. Anytime now. I did send him the connection information earlier today, once again, and so we are standing by for him to call in. Again, we do have a guest lined up for next week. Should be a good show again next week. And for the week after that, I'm not entirely sure, but we'll have to see how it goes. So at this point, the next big break we're going to have will be near the end of the season, I suppose, in October. Excuse me. We'll be taking a little bit of time off in October. Some time to work on stuff for Warpland's Fantastic Finds. I don't know if we're going to be doing any more stuff like that. We're going to be heading up to the Daytona Beach area shortly, but that won't really be related to this. We'll probably get to go and see the track briefly as we drive by it, as we normally do. Again, we're standing by for Jason Pribyl from Glenville, Illinois, Road to Indy USF junior driver with IGY6 Motorsports. Standing by. Again, he's really been anxious to be on the program. He's contacted me several times, so we're hoping that he's all set and ready to go. In fact, let's go ahead and send him an email now and just make sure he's set. I'm not sure if he knows what time it is around where he is. Let's go ahead and see. There he is there. I'm just asking if he's going to be calling in. Are you connecting? Waiting. As I was saying, I don't always share the sort of behind-the-scenes stuff with you, but I figure it's important. Sometimes I do have to contact the drivers a little bit more frequently, just in case, because they do get distracted, and that's a fine thing. So let's see. I am contacting him at the moment. He's going to contact us. If not, we are still standing by. I did just send him a message. Hopefully he'll be contacting us shortly. We are standing by for Jason Pribyl here on Speedway Digest. Thursday Night Thunder. Again, this week, Michael Molly will not be able to join us. I'll submit a few questions for Mr. Pribyl here, so we're going to go ahead and give him a couple more minutes to try and connect. If not, then we'll see what we can do for next week. I'm hoping to talk to him. I like giving this guy an opportunity to be on the show. He's definitely the future of racing, just like the guy we had on last week. And we'll see how it goes. His career is more of a U.S.-based career. The other guy was more of an international-based career, which is kind of cool. And we're very happy to talk to everybody who wants to talk to us. Now, we might end up talking to a guy next week for Sunfest. We're hoping that we can get to do that either next week or the following week. I know the following week they do open, but we'll see if we can do something with that anyway. So Sunfest, for those of you who don't know, is one of the biggest music festivals in the state of Florida. It takes place in downtown West Palm Beach. The first weekend of May. It'll be the same weekend as the Formula One Grand Prix of Miami. It's always a busy weekend down here that weekend. Another event taking place that same weekend is the air show there in Fort Lauderdale. It used to be called the Air and Sea Show. I do not know what the current name of it is, but it also takes place the first weekend of May, first full weekend of May, which is like the 6th, 7th, and 8th. Again, we're still standing by for Mr. Pribyl to call in. We're hoping he calls in momentarily. If he does not, we're going to go ahead and make it a really short show this week, which is unfortunate, but sometimes that happens. What we're going to have to do pretty soon with our website there at facebook.com/SD Thursday Night Thunder. So we're going to go ahead and update a little bit, put some more pictures of the past guests on there. We've got it updated to a point, but I know I've fallen behind a little bit in getting pictures of the guests on that page. And I do like to have that sort of stuff on there. So we'll go ahead and update that shortly. We're trying to get to a point where it doesn't fall as far behind. Might do that a little bit this weekend. I can't guarantee anything, but it might be a little bit this weekend, a little bit next weekend, that sort of thing. So, if you're a race car driver, crew chief, pit member, track owner, maybe just a huge fan of the sport, contact us, get your on the show. After all, you deserve 15 minutes of fame, and we would love to hear from you. The easiest way to get in contact with me is go to speedwaydigest.com, go down to the bottom in the racing news section. That's generally the easiest way to find me. And look for Adam Jason Sinclair, or you can simply do what Mary Badgley did last week and look me up on Facebook. That's Adam Jason Sinclair. That's a pretty easy way to find me as well. So, again, we're going to be holding off for about a couple more minutes for Mr. Pribyl and see if he contacts us. If not, we will deal with it as it goes. We're really hoping he contacts us, but because I don't like it when stuff like this happens, we end up having to reschedule over and over and over again. It does happen, of course, but it's one of those sort of things. Let's see what else is going on here in the world of motorsports. I know that it's been a race there in Bristol this past weekend, run by Kyle Busch. I didn't get to see that. It was on really late at night. They had all the rain delays and all that sort of stuff. But it's kind of cool to see Kyle Busch do very well in dirt racing. I know that Kyle Larson was complaining about the fact that the cars are not really built for dirt racing. I don't necessarily disagree with it, but I know that the cars are more of an all-purpose car now in the Cup Series. He was complaining, of course, that the fact that they attracted dirt, especially to the windows, and they mudded up a little bit. I think they should have realized that. I'm pretty sure they did, at least to a point. But it's one of those sort of things that you can't really control, you can't really know until you get into race conditions. I know the speed was really low for that race. It was less than 40 miles per hour average, which isn't very good at all. But they are going to have the racing next year. I'm pretty sure they're going to have it for the next several years. It's always a learning opportunity, but Bristol is a kind of cool track to have the dirt there. I'd love to go see it at some point. Apparently, Jason Pribyl is trying to contact us right now. He's trying to verify his email address. So let's see if he's able to connect. We can give him a few more minutes, and we'll see how that goes. Looks like he is in the listening thing. Let's go ahead and allow him to call in tonight. Hello, how you doing this evening, Jason?
Adam, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello, how you doing?
Hear you now.
Okay. First off, how was the track today? I know you did had some recon laps anyway. How was the track today?
We had a lot of fun. We were working on just getting to know this track because it's a pretty crazy one. A lot of people said it was like Nürburgring, and it really is. We got all of it was in the rain, but we got some good, at least some good info on what it's going to look like tomorrow.
Can you tell me what some of your goals are for the 2022 season?
Yeah, basically for 2022, to a higher level like this is something where I think if I can leave a win, I can really prove myself and make sure that I feel like this is the right thing for me.
Of all the tracks that you're going to compete on, which one are you most looking forward to? Growing up, who was your racing idol?
It's been Carl Edwards. He's really in sport mode. I always ran the number 99. That I kind of looked at as him as an idol.
Cool. And what is your ultimate racing goal?
So I didn't catch the last one.
What's your ultimate racing goal?
My ultimate racing motorsports. I think it's something I want to do if I'm able to with my job, and then racing law sounds pretty new.
Well, we'd like to thank you very much for coming on the show this evening. I'm sorry the connection wasn't perfect, but it was okay. And hopefully we can have you on a little bit later and find out a little bit more about how your season went and what your plans are for the future.
Relay that to me one more time.
Well, thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for coming on the show tonight. I know I apologize a little bit for the connection, but I know sometimes that happens, and hopefully we can have you on maybe in a few weeks and see how your season's going.
I definitely look forward to hopefully being on again. Maybe it'll be a little bit more smooth.
well, thank you very much, and have a great
you
night.
too.
Once again, we'd like to thank Jason Pribyl for coming on the show tonight. I know that it wasn't the best connection, but hopefully it came through a little bit. We're going to try and have him on probably next few weeks and see if we can get that going. It's some of that's related to the track, some of that's related to other stuff, but it happens. And again, at least we were able to hear most of what he had to say, so that was good. Again, I might keep it rather short and sweet this evening. We're not having the best connection overall from my end as well, but we'll see how it goes. Be sure to check out past episodes of Thursday Night Thunder as well as the other shows on the Speedway Digest Radio Network at speedwaydigest.podbean.com. You can also check out the show on Facebook by searching for Speedway Digest Thursday Night Thunder in the search bar. Also invite you to read the articles covering all aspects of motorsports at speedwaydigest.com. Again, I'm going to try and get some stuff posted this weekend, so we'll check that out. And if you're a fan of South Florida, be sure to check out the latest news and information about our slice of paradise at my blog site, Football Plum's Fantastic Finds, which can be found on Facebook, Twitter, by heading to footballplumsfantasticfinds.wordpress.com. Again, thank you for listening. We look forward to seeing you again next week in the Thunderdome as we discuss the major issues in the world of auto racing. We're going to have Mary Badgley on next week and probably try and have Jason back on in the next few weeks. Thanks again, and have a great night.